Whew, it is hot today. It is hot. What is it? 11:45. Goodness. It's hot today, huh? Go over here with the water. You almost out of water? I still got mine. I still got some of this one. It's 2 bottles of water so far. I brought 2 bottles for them, and I brought 1 for me. And they're done. They've got 2 bowls or a bowl thingy there, full of water left. And I've got 1 16, 17 ounce bottle of water. But for an old man in South Los Angeles, well, to be honest, anywhere in Los Angeles, there's no bathrooms anywhere, you know. Even here at the park, there's on the south side of where the ball fields are over there of the park, there's a big pavilion thing, not as big as this pool area, but a big pavilion thing. It's on some of the videos, with sinks, water fountains, and bathrooms. And the bathrooms are never open. I mean, unless there's like some games, some baseball games, and they're on the books, because people come here and play baseball games not on the books. And it's weird because there's signs everywhere that say, you know, on like the fields, you gotta have a reservation, or you gotta book it, or whatever, and they're locked, you know, chained up, because they don't want you playing there or whatever, unless you rented the field or booked or whatever, you know, rented the field. And people will come in. People come in with bolt cutters, chain cutter, cut the locks, and then I mean, as other people are breaking out the baseball equipment, and play a game, you know, play their game, after they just broke into the field, you know. And nothing's done. Nothing, you know, nothing's ever done about it, except eventually they'll put another chain on it, locking it up. But that's it. But so when they do that, the bathrooms aren't open. But everybody, and of course the guys, the back of the ball fields is like kudzu and stuff along the fence, and they just go right there, you know, just pee right there. But so, my point was, being an old man and drinking water out in public, especially if you're away from your home or a restroom, if you're drinking water and your bladder gets full, it's hard to find a bathroom. You can go to McDonald's, KFC, hundreds of places, and you can't use the bathroom. And not even a lot of times if you make a purchase. Some are doing remodeling and stuff and kind of changing that. And when they're doing the remodel, changing that, they're putting up the bulletproof glass, you know, at the counter, you know, dividing the customer and the employee. You know what I'm saying? And and me personally, I'm not gonna pee in public. And it's not like I'm not gonna. Come on. Here comes some guy. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Sit. Sit. Think. And stay. Well, not like in public, but not. Hey, get over here, Dink. Hey, Monster, get over here. She thinks she's big. Hey, come here. Sit. Sit. Mary Jane, she won't have it. Miss Dinky will. Dink, sit. Sit and be nice. Girl. Hey, sit and be nice. You can talk, but be nice. Hey, sit. Have a good day. Sit. Be nice. Dink. Hey. Get over here. Monster. Get over here. Was talking about using the bathroom. It's wild. Los Angeles is wild. It's a lot different from 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 5 years. It seriously gets worse. In California, all over, but I live in Los Angeles, so I see Los Angeles more. But it's getting like worse than any 80s movie you see, any 80s movie you see. You can see an 80s movie that shows Los Angeles in the future, and it's still better than what's going on, what's happening, and how it's turning out, and the outcomes year by year. It's seriously and workforce. It's so wild. I don't even want to get into all that. And I don't do politics. I don't do president and vice. I don't do none of that stuff. I do, again, care about, like, for example, me. If this is how, if these are the rules and these are the laws, etc., whatever, and I follow them and do, of course, like the right thing, but that's just because I'm not a scumbag or whatever, and so if things affect me, then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. If you get a job somewhere and you're not qualified, whatever, like in the news, etc., so that doesn't affect me. That doesn't bother me one bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's whatever, their policy and their work ethics and their person. That goes to many things. But again, it has nothing to do with me. If they raise minimum wage, etc., and so on, blah blah blah, and then people don't like it, and then people do like it, and there's protests, or there's that doesn't affect me, If I go to here, if I'm at this park, if I bring the girls to the park, and like the park people, for example, because a stranger, that's just against some crazy person, whatever. But if the park people, if they want to tell me, I don't know, if they want to be rude, disrespectful, scumbags, by anything, then that affects me. Then now that I have a problem. But for that note, it's going to be I'll have a problem, but not because I'm like part of the scumbags. I have a problem because you're being a scumbag to me for nothing, just to be a scumbag, because I'm following like the park rules, etc. Whatever. I'm not. If I'm doing something, if I'm sitting at that tree drinking, doing meth, whatever, etc. You have a right to be a scumbag to me, or But if I'm sitting there, resting or whatever, doing nothing, or just relaxing, it's at the park, and you're like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. Again, now you're being a scumbag and now I have a problem. But again, politics, the government has never helped me, period. When all these people, all these organizations and everything for a problem or for being poor or whatever, the government can help you with assistance, this, that, and the other thing, and etc. Well, I have been in need, and the government has never helped me, and have went and been to many. I'm an old man again, so I have been to many places, organizations, whatever, that I've been sent to or referred to, etc., that they would help me, and everyone I have been to, I have never been helped. I mean, let's see. When you're homeless, I was homeless, so they're gonna give you food stamps, whatever, because you're homeless and whatever. And I'm not too sure about that, except for being destitute and poor or whatever. And food stamps are supposed to be for like low income, whatever, people that qualify, blah, blah, blah. And so when you're homeless, you pretty much qualify for destitution or poor. So you go and you got it, but okay, now, and they're like, here you go. Well, that's not help, because it's help, but they do that for everybody. Now, help would be when they say, well, what's going on? Can we help you? Instead of, oh, you need food stamps, you're poor, you're homeless, okay, here you go. That's not help. I mean, even though, of course, it is help, when everybody can just go and just get it, period. You can go in California, you can go to the food stamp office right now and fill out the form and say, you're homeless, or you just became homeless, or blah blah, you're poor, or whatever, and they're gonna give you food stamps and cash money. And depending on who is helping you, now here we go, because I have seen at institutions, at organizations, whatever like that, I have seen black people do extra for black people, and for even some like estranged women or whatever, especially if they look kind of nasty and they have some kids and they're kind of, they would like kind of do extra and stuff for them. And I have seen many Hispanic people or whatever, etc., do the same for other Hispanics. And I was with this one when I was homeless, and this one lady was homeless, and we were kind of like the same. And her worker, they were speaking. Then they started. They were speaking English and then talking, and then they started speaking Spanish, etc. And I'm just at the desk next to, and then they go back to English, etc. And she got more. The lady, she got more paperwork. The chick that I was homeless. Okay, whatever. When we were sitting there, well, a bunch of people were sitting, but she was getting more paperwork and more, and then she was still doing. When I left, or was done with my little interview thing, or whatever. Now we're outside, or and the lady, and she's like, oh yeah, they give me this and this and this, and she had literally 5 times or more, but I'm gonna say five but 5 times more of everything, anything, and again, than I was offered. And then given, and she had oh my gosh, it was she had this, and then they gave her this, and then this was, and I was like, well, I got some food stamps, what I'm saying? They gave me food stamps and some cash, but the thing about it was me, also, I had to wait, what I'm saying? That girl, her stuff was like expedited, and she got hers within hours. Me and a bunch of other just homeless white dudes, we're at the little shelter place thing, and we have nothing. We're waiting on our stuff, and that chick, she's ordering, because restaurants in California take food stamps, what I'm saying? You can go order a steak and steak dinner, etc. On food stamps, But and she's over there, she's eating, and she's got smoking her cigarettes, and she's got her stuff. And again, not just got her stuff, she's got lots of extra. And it was like, government organizations, government that help you, nonprofit that help you. When you go there for help, because you need to get some, because they help you with bus tokens. You've got some money for bus tokens, but you're homeless and stuff, and if a place will give them to you to help you, so you can ride the bus and stuff, to go look for work or go to work or period. You go to that place to get bus fare or bus tokens, so you're allowed to have public transportation. Well, when you're in the office and you're at a worker or whatever's desk, and the worker says, phone's ringing, and the worker says, hold on please, hold on a second, and then she answers the phone, and then you hear the conversation that it's their family member, and sounds like it's the person's daughter, and says, yeah, we just got that in, come by later on my lunch break, and I'll give you the taxi cab vouchers and bus tokens. So again, and this woman is a worker is saying this in my face, like, of course, I'm an old white guy, so my opinion, first off, don't matter, and second, who's gonna believe me? I'm an old white guy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying a complaint, or you know what I'm saying, a fraud against a worker. She don't care, and so she's saying it right in front of me. Well, she gets off the phone, and I'm done filling out my little form, and we don't have any right now. We're out. You have to come back when we get the next ones or whatever next month. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you know, now, like I've seen it, and seen it, not making it up, not seen it. That, not that, of course, but like at a window, at a stand-up window, a black person, okay, man or woman, don't matter, be like, say like, yeah, I'm here to get my stuff's not here, or whatever, blah, blah, and them say, you know, whatever, just get blowing them off, not assisting them automatically right there. And then because of that, I've seen people be violent and trash and destructive, you know, just for that. I could imagine if they were sitting in the back at someone's desk, and them say in front of them, "Hey, I got all this stuff for you. Come get it," and then tell you they have nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you're hearing them tell their loved one, their daughter, that come get the free stuff, but the people that it's supposed to go to, and it's for, etc., are not getting it, and told, sorry, too bad, come back next time. I'm sure one of those people that are violent and obnoxious, and you know, because they're just told sorry, not right now, if they heard that, oh my God, the place would probably burn. But I've got video of lots of it. I got video. I was sent to this place, Path, people assisting the homeless, and they're supposed to help, you know, assist the homeless. I got there, and they offered me a shower. They said, well, you can use our shower, but we don't have any resources to offer, etc. And I'm like, and then this time but the name is people assisting the homeless. If you consider giving me a shower, you know, assisting the homeless, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, homeless people need a shower and stuff, but that's like my priority. Like is right now is not a shower. You know, especially if you're clean and you just like had a shower, or you know, you don't, you know, and it's real crazy. It's real strange. And let me see. Back to that. So like politics, the government, I could care less. I can care less what's going on in government. Again, unless it affects me. But government's never helped me. So in order, like, since they've never helped me, it's never affected me. Again, because it's like the government doesn't owe me, you know, like anything, or people anything. You know, I mean, unless you're like a veteran, etc., because you work for the government, and the government, you know, the government owes military vets and military people a lot. But like me, again, government's never helped me or like actually hurt me. You know, I mean, they've done stuff to like the country or the state or the city, whatever. That's of course, damage the city or the state or the country or whatever, and put more strain like on me or other people and stuff, whatever. But that's like another thing. But that again, it's not affecting me. Like not affecting me. If I don't drink soda, but if I drank Coca-Cola and a 2-liter, remember when they cost 89 cents? Well, now they cost like $4 or $3. Well, see, now that sucks, and that kind of affects me if I still drank soda, Coca-Cola. But it's not affecting me to where, I don't know, it's not affecting me. Because, when you think about it, etc., Coca-Cola is a poison anyway, you know what I'm saying? And my landlord doesn't do anything. He won't do anything. You can't even get a hold of him. When you need something fixed, you get no help. Now that, in a lot of ways, affects me, so I get upset with that. The city and its stuff, whatever, kind of government in a way. When you turn, in California, when you turn your faucet on, and there's a tint to the water, and you don't drink the water out of the faucet. But that kind of affects me. But again, it doesn't affect me to where, I don't know, from being poor and homeless and going through a lot. I've survived through a lot of different stuff, but I do not. I don't vote. I've never voted for anyone in my life. My whole life, I have not voted. I have not voted for a congressman, a senator, a president. I've never voted for anyone. Voted in my entire life. If we're in any type of voting election process thing or whatever. I've never in my life, over 50 years, okay? And you know what? This video is 27 minutes long. This video, a lot of people, over 50 years, have never known, and not like anybody's ask or anybody's business, but yeah, I've never voted. I would never consider myself Democrat or Republican, because they're all corrupt, they're all corrupt. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like right now, there's so much corruption and so much violence and division and negativity and they're all together, Here, let me spruce this video up. We're going into 30 minutes on this video, so no one's probably gonna hear this. But so if I wanted somebody to hear, I probably should have talked like this in the beginning. But let me break it down for everybody. Everyone in government, the Republican side, the Democrat side, they're all there together. They all share like office buildings and they pretty much see each other like, on the daily basis, And there's many, many different backgrounds, colors, or whatever you want to say in there. But again, and they're there together. They're there. Republicans beside a Democrat. Period. And they talk, and then they talk trash about each other, and they talk trash about it. But that's it. See, in the real world, if you had a person with these kind of beliefs and a different person across the table with other types of beliefs, especially, let's go for in the same ethnic group, color, background, whatever. They're the same, but one is on one side of the table with this belief, and one's on the other side of the table with this belief. Once they start talking, period. Once they start talking and they start disagreeing with what the other one said, there's going to be conflict. And not like this conflict in the government. If you've ever seen one party talk, it's going to be conflict. I mean, there's going to be a brawl, a war, fighting, and they either both might engage because they're both badasses or whatever, or one might engage and be more violent because they are more aggressive and the other one is not at all, But in the government, when they do that, there's never that. They all just talk smack and act this way and act that way. And then they tell the people, us, whoever you are, whatever you, well, if you agree with them, then of course they're talking to you. But at the same time, they're warning the opposition. But again, after they have an argument or debate, they tell the people, the world, on the news and news briefings, and they tell the normal people to fight, because since they're just had an argument and a disagreement with the opposition in the government, now they're telling common people to fight their opposition because they just had an argument and a disagreement, etc., with their opposition, and they aren't going to do anything and can't or whatever. So they want us, normal people, to do it to each other, and that goes with everything. That's where racism starts. That's where sexism starts. That's where everything starts. Because when they say, "Hey, baby," when they say, well, this or this or this is sexism, because they went through something and they're a woman, let's say, and they say, well, that must be sexism. That's where now they have to spread that and make everybody think, well, if this happens, it's sexism. And why is that? Well, because the government said it was. I saw the thing, the government, the black woman, she was mean, and she was loud, and she was saying, we need to do this, and we need to fight, and we need to stand up, and telling everybody. And then explaining, that they have to do it, it's their duty, and go up to them and question them, and et cetera and so on. And then it happened to her, and she was questioned, and again, it was not violent. The reporter or whatever didn't go up and start attacking her, touching her and pushing her, nothing. Just went up asking questions. And because of that, she said she felt threatened, and it was because of racism. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what do you mean? If someone, period, would have actually in her life, honestly, seriously, in her life, went up to her and been violent and been, aggressive, etc., she could say something. But she's never in her life experienced that, you know what I'm saying? Except for what's in her head and what's on TV. So it's why. But again, they get us to do it. They get us to fight their dirty work. They get us to do their bidding. And then again, once they get us to do it, again, they don't help. Like I'm telling you right now, You can look in California for all kinds of organizations and stuff to help like homeless. And let's just stick on homeless. You could be homeless and on drugs and have had a moment of clarity, let's just say, and went to one of these organizations and say, I'm homeless, I've been on drugs, I'm dying, I'm afraid, I'm giving up drugs, I don't want to be homeless anymore, I need help, please help me. They may, now this is not even a, okay, we're going to help you. They may put you in a treatment, and they put you in a treatment center. And that's it. And you know, a convalescent home, sober living style, but sober living, that costs money, and they'll pay for it for you, but they'll charge you. But again, for that, they may, let's say, you go to a treatment center for a month. Well, that's it. It's over. Well, now, if you've impressed or been in someone's ethnic or color group or whatever, and people like you, let's just say, you may get some extra perks and stuff. And the month's gone, and now you have nothing to do, and or nowhere, you know, and you're back back to square one, except for you're a month off drugs. Again, if okay, whatever, you can go back and say, hey, well, I need more time, blah blah. And again, depending, they may say, okay, and extend it and give you another month or 2 months, etc. But that's it. That is the bottom line. That is all. And because, again, and they only do it, again, for certain people for whatever reason is in their head. But because these certain things have the place, the funding, or, you know what I'm saying, the room, the situation, it's there. Again, unless they themselves have taken the resources and squandered them, or not necessarily squandered them, but squandered them for their own, personal benefit. But again, you could be crying, going to one of these organizations. You need help. You're going to die, and you're on drugs, and oh my gosh, and that's it. That is it. They won't help. It's wild, but see, that also, I'm over 50, and I was homeless, and I need to do something. I go to find a job. I have little restaurant experience. I got experience in many different things, jack of all trades, if you will, through over 50 years, or but something as basic as working at Subway sandwiches. I've been a manager at Subway sandwiches in my lifetime. So by the very least, again, I can make a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Well, when Subway was hiring, and I called and I got the interview. Well, I called and I got the interview. And then when I showed up, they saw an old white guy. Well, they don't have a position for me. But not only that, they needed a bilingual person. And I was not bilingual or trilingual or anything. I'm just a one-lingual, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, well, now I'm pissed. So, well, that would have been nice if you would have said that or put it on the ad, etc. And they don't care. I went to McDonald's, had a sign, and said they needed maintenance help 3 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday. So that's 6 hours a week, 2 days a week. And I jumped on it. They told me I wasn't Spanish. They said, we can't hire you, you're not Spanish. I said, what do you mean? I said, but I need a job, and I can do maintenance. I don't need to be Spanish to do maintenance. Well, they don't care, and that was it. Let's go on. Day labor, a real day labor, not just odd jobs. I mean day labor. You go to a business, and you fill out the paperwork, and they send you on a job. Well, blah blah blah. That's day labor. Well, so there's one in Long Beach called Labor Finders. Labor Finders. So I go in there. It's open, I go in there. They tell me I got to come back at 4 o'clock in the morning and fill out an application. Okay, no problem. I'm there at 3:30. I'm homeless, etc. So I'm there. I'm waiting on the place to open. I'm the first one there. Hard to imagine because food banks and stuff open at 1. People were there at 9 in the morning. But so I'm the first one there. 4 o'clock comes. There's still not really anybody there. 4 o'clock comes. They open the doors. I go in, application. As I go in and ask for it and get the application, they're looking at me. You know what I mean? And then talking Spanish to each other. Yeah, why they're looking at me. So of course it's probably about me. Well, so when I give them the application, when I give them the papers back at the little desk, the one guy's in the kind of like in the back over there, and then the other guy comes up to the front of the desk, and he's like, "Sorry, we can't hire you. You're not Mexican." And I was like, "Mexican?" Because I was like Mexican. I was like, "So, what about El Salvador or Guatemala? Just Mexican?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, whatever." And I'm like, now I'm like, well, he don't even know what he's saying. He's just telling me some shit, just so I go on. And I'm like, okay. So, that's kind of odd. And then later, who was it? I hear it was talking, and they were talking about like the DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. So my only thing was that when I heard about what that was, I was like, well, is that what this is? Why they won't hire me, and why they're blatantly just openly telling me like I need to speak another language. I wasn't this type of demographic, and then I wasn't a specific demographic. I realized that now whatever's happening in California and then California, now it's affecting me. Because they're telling me, not just telling a person, they're telling me specifically that this is what they're going to do, this is how they're going to do it, and too bad for me. So, of course I have issues with, again, stuff like that affects me. But I don't do politics. I don't do anything like that comes out of like government's mouth. The racism thing. Look, if you're Mexican or Guatemala or whatever, Hispanic, I don't care. But if you're an asshole or a dick or whatever, now I got a problem with you. But I don't have a problem with what you are or whatever. I've got a problem with you. Because, you know, if a Mexican dude comes up to me and threatens me or is rude to me or, you know, whatever, a scumbag, he did it, not Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So, if a black guy comes up to me and does the same thing, etc., and so on, I don't have racism, you know, towards them, because I don't care if you're black. I care that you're a scumbag, you know, because drop it, think. Oh, you can have that. That's a pine cone. I thought that was duty or chicken. You can have it. You can have that. Africa didn't do it to me, or all blacks didn't do it to me. That one black did it to me. You know, I have met, or I have in my life, I have known black people that are not nice, and that are racist, and that are scumbags. And I have met Mexican people, El Salvador, Hispanic, whatever, same thing. I have met white people, same thing. So, for me, just to be clear, if you're a Mexican and you're a scumbag, to me, I have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with you being Mexican. I have a problem with you being a scumbag, a black person. If you come up to me, because I'm not going to be a scumbag to you. I don't care, period. Again, unless you've done something to me, you know, I don't care what you are, who you are, you know, what your color is. If you're a scumbag, you're a scumbag. And again, I don't have, the only thing I have a problem with personally is you being a scumbag. And you can be a scumbag to pretty much anybody. That's on you and them. If you want to be a scumbag to me, well, now you're whatever color or whatever you want to call yourself, but a scumbag. So now there's a problem. And if you want to say, oh, you're being mean or you're retaliating because I'm a scumbag because you're racist towards whatever. You know, it's like, no. And for that note, that's why I wear a body camera and always wear a body camera and keep it on. Because a scumbag will come up to you and be a scumbag and then blame you for them being a scumbag. I got into it with this one guy. He attacked me. And well, right as he attacked me, I got mace, and I have my club. I got a tire checker, a pressure checker, tire checker, and what's the other ball? And but I got those things originally for dogs, for stray dogs that want to attack my dog, and they come running at us to attack. And so when that first happened, I was like, okay, and I bought the mace. But I was told that if a pit bull is charging at you and wanting to attack you or the dog, and you mace him, the mace is not going to work, right? And I don't know that for sure, but I was like, well, damn. So I got the tire thumper, the little club, you know, little billy club, and so I don't want to hurt her. I don't even want to hit a dog, but if it's about to kill me or hurt me or my dogs, I'm gonna hurt the dog. That's just the way it is. But so I'm in the store, and this dude, me and Mary Jane were in the store. I didn't have Miss Dinky yet. Me and Mary Jane were in the store, and this dude called me an asshole. Just I was talking to the clerk, and or the cashier, and Mary Jane was standing there, looking at him like, "Are you gonna play with me?" And he's talking about the dog, and I was like, "Yeah, she's crazy, blah blah. She just wants to jump and say hello to you, and she wants you to give her attention, and and I don't want her to. I'm not supposed to let." This was again when I first got Mary Jane, and or back then, and the guy said, "Because you're an asshole." Kind of under his breath, but not under his breath, because like everybody in line and the cashier could hear it, and so I turned, turned to him and said, "Why you call me asshole? You don't even know me. Mind your business." Well, he now wants to fight me or beat me up. So, but he's behind me, and he's kind of running his mouth still after I said that, and I just shut up. But he's still kind of saying stuff, and then he has a bag of chips. He gives it to the cashier because he's going out. So he gives the cashier his thing, and he goes out the door. Now he's out waiting on me. So we're wrapping it up at the cashier, and the cashier goes, You can stay in here, come right over here if you want to." I said, "No, I'm okay unless he's got a gun or something out there. If he don't have a gun, then I'm not scared, and I got nothing to worry about." And I go out the door, and there he stands. So instead of like going straight to right there where he's at, we go out the door and we kind of veer to the right. And as I come out and veer to the right, I turned around and there he was, and he lunged at me. And right as he lunged at me, I maced him. Psh! I maced him right in the face. Psh! And he said, "What are you doing? You don't call me boy." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, and then okay. So I maced him again, and this time this time I just sprayed. I almost emptied the bottle on his face, and somebody he's almost right at the door now, the exit door, and some lady or whatever like pulled him in and like I guess took him to their restroom or whatever, and washed his eyes. But I stood there, waited, because if they wanted to call the police or whatever, I don't want to flee the scene or whatever. So I stood there, me and the dog. Before I didn't. Me and Mary Jane stood there, and the security guard came out, and he goes, because I've seen him, and he's seen me and Mary Jane, and we've talked or chatted, and blah blah, and the dog, and he come out. He go, "What happened? What's going on?" And I go, I told him, and I said, and he lunged at me, so I maced the shit out of him. And I go to my body camera and I clip it. It's clipped right here, on the bag right now. And I showed him the clip, or the part, and he was like, "Damn, what happened?" He goes, "Be careful, be safe." I'm like, "Yeah, man. As long as they don't have a gun, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's not a drive-by." But you only get, again, scumbags that have a problem with you and just want to come up and, because they can't do anything, so they have to, use a gun. But so I got the I hear the siren. I'm so hot. It's been about an hour now. My voice is getting hoarse because I'm talking so much. Look at Mary Miss Dinky. See that? Mary Jane, she's anxious. She wants to play more, but she's about done. Miss Dinky, she's cooked. She's ran and it's hot. Miss Dinky, get yours. She's like, "No, give me a treat." Hey, baby. I've lived in different states in the United States, and and as an adult, you know, as an adult, I've had run-ins with law enforcement, police, and whatever, been bad, and whatever, and and have seen them, just in everyday life. There's some police, and for example, I'm in Florida, and there's some police, whatever, and they're just chilling, and you walk by them, and you're like, hey, have a good day, or keep up the good, whatever, small talk, just hey, and they're friendly out back, literally, 98% friendly acknowledgement, you know what I'm saying, respectful, decent. When I came back to California this time, I'm in Long Beach, where I started, and it's all different because I used to live in California, and it's all different. And I'm like, wow. And you think it'd be for the better, but once you live here, well, so there's some police, and hey, how you doing? 3 seconds later, I'm handcuffed on the sidewalk, and they're asking me what I'm doing, why I'm talking to them. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's the problem? I was like, I just said hello. I was just saying hi to you. I just moved back into town and realized I shouldn't say stuff like that either, But I have never, and I've been back in California for over 20 years, for over 20 years, I have never seen a police officer that was decent to the public. I mean, and just not even like decent, just like friendly. Treat you like a person, like I never in California, not one. And then, you hear that the sheriff's department and both. The sheriff's department is a different organization than the city cops, LAPD and the sheriff's department. And but both the organizations, they had gang members. They had Mexican gang members along. So you got a group of sheriff's deputies, and they're all in some kind of secret sheriff Mexican gang. And same with the LAPD. They had some too. Like they had like two, I think, different types of gangs. So, and that to me is just that's wild. That's not even like normal. That's like seriously like some third world type stuff. But yeah, law enforcement are not good in California. And again, for that matter, I have never seen them do anything good. I mean, I have seen them make arrests, which making arrests are good, but I've never seen them make arrests towards a criminal. Like if they don't have to do anything and make an arrest, like if you ride the train and you don't buy a train ticket, they can arrest you. But first, you could get a ticket and, you go do the whole procedure. But just depending on and et cetera, they can arrest you. So, if it's like that, or they can walk up to you and say, are you on probation or parole? And if you are, you automatically have to comply and go through their rigorous investigation or whatever to find out if you're absconding or whatever. But if you say no, it's a whole nother ballgame. But they can come up to you. But on that note, if if there's, this is a homeless group right here, and they come up to the homeless group like waiting for something, a donation or resources or what, and you're supposed to meet at this park and whatever. If the police come by and see you or that, they can go over and say, what are y'all doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, anybody on probation? And if somebody is on probation or parole, now they're in the loop, so now they can ask everybody, for their ID or whatever, name and everything, and run it and all that jive. And like for me, I've been in that situation, and I don't care, run whatever. Here's ID, here's whatever, because I'm not doing nothing wrong, and okay, blah blah. But so, for that note again, they can run your name and whatever, and of course, take you to jail. And again, for all that, I've never seen them be nice, be cordial, be decent to, well, ever. So, yeah, I was jumped on the bus. To sum it up, there was two guys and kids, or way younger than me, but they were getting off the bus, and the door is behind me, kind of catty corner, but behind me. And as they were getting off the bus, the one slugged me in the back of the head. Well, it kind of rung my bell, so I was like, well, damn. So I turned around, and I see him, and he's kind of like in a stance, and I'm like, and my first thought was, what in the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay. So I stood up, and the other guy, I didn't see the other guy, and the other guy hit me in the back of the head. And because I'm staring at the other guy squared up, and I got hit in the back of the head, and then they jumped off the bus. So now I'm like, damn, who are these kids? I remember these kids, I remember these dudes. Well, they weren't kids. They were 20, 25-ish, could be 30-ish. But to me, kids. Well, so, and they got off the bus. So I'm kind of looking out the window at them to get a visual, and the bus driver calls me up to the front. So I go up to the front, and he goes, you live, get off right up here, huh? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I want you to wait there. I've called the police. They're gonna be there. And I'm like, oh shoot. So ambulance comes because I got hit in the back of the head twice, and I'm like, and they were rude, obnoxious, paramedics or whatever. They were not professional, not, again, like, if I would have been like I was a victim, I guess, but they weren't there to help me, you know what I'm saying? They were there because they were called and they had to go there and to get their paycheck. They weren't, and so they could log it in, etc. They were not there to help. So they left, and then the police come. So then the police come, and they're like, description, and I'm like kind of giving them a description, and I'm like, and he comes, because they got off just two, three stops before mine right here we're at. One of the guys, he's walking by us now. Me and the police officers at this bus stop. And as he's walking by us, he's got his finger, like a gun, pointing at me and the cop, pointing at us there at the bus stop. And I was like, yeah, that's one of the dudes right there. And they go, two police officers, they go, are you sure? Because if you're not sure, we can't just go arrest him. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's him. Pointing the gun, the finger gun at us. Yeah, that's him. Well, really, this is for the sheriffs. LAPD, us, they're LAPD. We're on the other side of the street. This side of the street is sheriffs. So what you really want to do is you want to call sheriffs. And I was like, what? I was like, there's a dude right there. I bet the bus, Metro, the bus, I bet there's a video, They said, well, if you think so, and I'm like, think so, and they go, if you think so, you need to call sheriffs, or go to the sheriff's station and file a report. And they kind of tell me location of the nearest sheriff's office, or whatever. And I'm like, seriously? I was like, y'all need to go. I got to go home. You know what I'm saying? And you need to sign this. I'm like, I'm not signing nothing. I'm out of here. And then they're starting to like turn on me, and I'm like, listen, I got to go. Sorry. So I walked off. So, unless somebody shoots me, if they don't shoot me, between like the mace, my dog, and my tire thumper, I'll be calling the police or whatever to help them. You know what I'm saying? Not to like take them to jail or whatever, but hey, you need to help these people that, first I maced him, and then I cracked his head open, or whatever. So yeah, kind of wild.